On this homework for section 5.5 and 5.6, these are some of the problems that students asked me about during class, and since you were absent those 3 days, I thought I'd just go ahead and help you with them as well. So hopefully, if you haven't turned to page 333 yet, go ahead and pause this video and turn to page 333 so that you can see the problem that I'm doing. And then as we go along, just go ahead and do the others if you can, and just let the ones I do help you as you work through the assignment. On page 333, number 6, it says list the sides and the angles in order from smallest to largest. And not that students had trouble with this, but I told them that, like on number 6, see how they give you the 3 angles? So since I already give you the angles, I trust that you know that 51 is smallest, so angle C would be the smallest, and so on. So I'm not going to make you list the angles out on this one, but I do want you to list the sides. And remember, what you do is, since we're going small to large, you go to the smallest angle, which would be that 51, and you go to the side opposite. So AB would be the smallest side. And then 62 would come next, so you look at the opposite side, so that would be BC. And then 67 is the largest, so the side opposite would be AC. The next type of problems are the ones where they give you 3 sides, and you have to just simply add the 2 smaller ones and make sure it's bigger than the third one. And you're supposed to do all 3 combinations, but I just need you to do the 2 smaller ones. So for this one, for number 16, if you add the 2 smaller ones, it's got to be bigger than the largest one. And since that's 13, that's a true statement. So yes, those can make a triangle. And then 17, since when you add 3 plus 6, it actually equals 9, which means it's not greater than 9. So it does not make a triangle. Okay, number 20 is multiple choice, and it's asking which group of side lengths can be used to construct a triangle. So the idea again is when you add the 2 smaller ones, it's got to be bigger than the third. But they try to trick you on these, because if you look at side or choice A, see how they have yards, feet, and yards? You have to have them with the same label. So since there are 3 feet in a yard, that 3 yards here, if you times it by 3, that really means that that's 9 feet. And then we'll leave the 4 feet, and then 5 yards would be 15 feet. Because 5 times 3 is 15. So you're supposed to add the 2 smaller ones, which would be the 4 and the 9, and that's 13. And since 13 is not bigger than 15, then that would not be a triangle. So it's not a... And then that's how you go on and do the others. So like on... See, C already has them all in inches. So you just go ahead and add the 2 smaller ones, and that has to be bigger than 27. And if it is, then that would be your triangle. On B, you got to change those yards in the feet. On D, you got to change feet into inches by timesing it by 12. So that would be 24 inches. And then add, since 11 and 12 are your smaller ones, those have to add up to something bigger than 24. And that's how you can tell which one makes an actual triangle. On number 33, this is the one that requires a lot of algebra. Okay, so we don't know which one's the longest side, really. So you got to set up all combinations. So one of them, the 3 combinations, let me write it this way first. We got to do JK plus KL has to be greater than JL. So that was this one, and this one is bigger than the third one. Another combination would be JK plus JL has to be bigger than KL. And then the third one is KL plus JL has to be bigger than KL. I did that one wrong. KL and JL bigger than JK. Okay. But then the actual algebra, so JK is x plus 11 plus KL, which is 2x plus 10, is greater than JL, which is 5x minus 9. Then you do the algebra, so that'd be 3x plus 21 greater than 5x minus 9. Subtract your 3x, so you get 2x. Add your 9, so you get 30. So x, and then 15. Because 30 divided by 2 is 15. So there's one of our possible answers. If you do this middle one, it would be JK is x plus 11. JL is 5x minus 9. That's got to be greater than KL, which is 2x plus 10. So that would be 6x plus 2 has to be greater than 2x plus 10. Subtract your 2x. Subtract your 2. Divide by 4. So there's a third possible. And then the last combination, KL, is 2x plus 10. JL is 5x minus 9. Has to be greater than JK, which is x plus 11. Combine your like terms. Subtract your x, subtract your 1, divide by 6, and you get 10, 6, which is 1 and 4, 6. So there's our third possible one. And remember, the rule is your final answer is one of these inequalities, and you cross off the smallest number, which would be that 1 and 4, 6. So we'll cross that one and not use it. So we'll put the 15 at the high number and the 2 at the low number, and that's our answer. Okay, on the next page for section 5.6, I forget what page it is here, but this is where you have two triangles, and you have to make sure and find the two sides that are congruent in each of them. So on number 3, they've marked 2 of the sides, but this one in the middle is reflexive, so that's equal to itself. And the two sides that are marked, you have to use the angle that comes between them. So on the left side it would be this left up here at angle B. On the right triangle between the 2 mark and 1 mark is this angle here. And then you look at the side opposite of those angles. So since 36 is bigger than 32, that makes AD bigger than CD, so it'll be one of those signs, the greater than sign. Okay, number 16, again, all 3 of these here, students had trouble with, and number 18, which I'm going to ask you to try to do on your own. Students asked me about that one too, but I wanted to give you a chance to do one of them on your own. Actually, what I could do, 16 ends up being easier. So let's do number 17. And then hopefully you can do number 16 on your own. And chances are number 18 you might have to ask me about. Okay, so we'll save 16 for later. Okay, number 17, you got to mark the sides that are congruent. So the 2 sides that both have a 3, let's go ahead and mark those. And then reflexive gives you that piece in the middle. So on the triangle on the left, between the two sides, means we have to use that 110 degree angle there. It's hard to read it now. We have to use this angle between them. And the triangle on the right, between the two sides marked, means we have to use this angle up here. And remember, you look at the sides opposite. So we have 110 degree over here on the left one. Erase that a little bit. And on the right triangle, it's going to be smaller than the 110 because in that triangle you already have 102 right there. So if you already have one angle that's 102, there's no way that that other angle is going to be over 90. So it's definitely smaller than the 110. Okay. So since the 110 is bigger, that means the side opposite, which is the 3x plus 2, is going to be bigger or greater than opposite that small angle is the x plus 3. And then you got to solve it for x. So you subtract x, so you get 2x plus 2 greater than 3. Subtract your 2, so you get 2x greater than 1. Divide by 2, so you get x greater than a half or 0.5. Oops, what'd I do? It won't let me make just a decimal. 0.5. Blotted a few times. Okay, and then that's your answer right there. Okay, so good luck. Hopefully you can get most of that done and ask me about it if you have questions.